All right, guys, so here we go. Week number 4, setup and preparation as we finalize our last week before. Actually, we have 2. So this technically is week number 4, but we do have an extra week because it's an ECW pay-per-view. Let's take a look at a Raw. We only got a 3.5 star, 3-star, 2.5 on this match where they went to a draw. JTG and Shad beat the hell out of Chris Masters. You had Michelle McCool beating Mickie James for the Divas title. But, interesting things are going to happen, and we're going to see at the pay-per-view how these two Divas finally settle it as Umaga and Tori Umaga went up over MVP after weeks of finally getting beat down, finally was able to grab a win. Not the way he wanted to win, but he did get the victory. Bobby Lashley versus Mark Henry. Lashley, after his match with Triple H for his last title opportunity, Mark Henry came out and proved a point that he's coming for that tag team titles. And in the main event was Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton taking on CM Punk and Triple H with a 3.5 star match where Jeff Hardy was able to roll up both of those men and get the victory. So let's go ahead and look at last week's ratings. I don't think I did this. 3.5 star. Actually, we need to finish up this one. So let's take a look at our roster and see who we have to pump up. We're going to do the popularity gimmick just because. So we crank it up. Wait. Oh, that's why. So we need to crank up all our guys that are in a top feud. So our tag teams really need to go out, and Chris Masters and Mark Henry really need to get pumped up as well. So let's go ahead. Mark Henry and Chris Masters, they really need to get some trophy dates. Let's hope Mark Henry's a ladies' man. Come on, Mark, be a ladies' man. So +5. Got up there a little bit. How about Chris Masters now? Let's crank him up as we really need all our top guys. Come on, give me a +8. +5, that'll help. And then last but not least, we need to crank up MVP quite a bit because MVP is at the bottom, and MVP's got a big feud. +5. So take a look at our popularity. You can see people moving up. He's still not very high for where we want him to be. Triple H is near the top, and since it is Jeff Hardy who is going up against Triple H, our top feud, he's got to be top popularity, So let's go ahead and crank up Jeff Hardy again. Hopefully, Jeff Hardy, give us a +8, please. Yeah, +5. It is what it is. And I think we get one more day because I don't think we get a wrestle at the ECW pay-per-view. So the last one we want to crank up is Randy Orton a little bit. It's +5. All right, let's see how they did. ECW pay-per-view. The special pay-per-view event ended up being an exciting night. It came in at a 2.5 star rating. So, wow, that's it. That's all they got. Let's take a look at their card and what they did. So they only had a 2.5 star. They only had 3 matches on the card. They had an elimination match between Ric Flair, Kane, and Sabu taking on Melina, Nitro, and Khali. Undertaker and Mysterio tag team against Mr. Kennedy and Ashley. And then a fatal 4-way battle royale over the top rope, which was won by Elijah Burke. And you wonder why ECW only had a 2.5 star rating. And we got a 3 last week. ECW at a 3.5. How the hell is ECW getting a 3.5 with Ashley and Snitsky taking on Nitro, Regal, handicap 3-on-1s? How the hell is this happening? Looks like Elijah Burke became the champion. So the ECW championship match, the table was won by Elijah. And then at the pay-per-view, he successfully defended that title, which is crazy to think about. ECW's ratings last week, you can take a look. And then how about SmackDown? They had a 3.5 star. Once again, they only had 2 matches. Big 6-man tags. And HBK beat John Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship. So a lot of crazy stuff is happening. You take a look at our rivalries and what we're doing. Rivalry length and what we have. So all these matches are coming into the pay-per-view. This is the last week before the pay-per-view, so we need to heat things up a little bit. As you take a look at our fan support, man, our fan support's going down. They're not really digging what we were putting out. Triple H is still on the top of the boards. Jeff Hardy moved up. Randy Orton moved down a spot. And CM Punk dropped down as well. Umaga jumped into the win with his win over MVP. So let's finalize our matches for this week. I don't think we're going to put them in a straight one-on-one matchup. As you look at our current champions, we have CM Punk, who will be defending the Intercontinental title against Randy Orton. He wasn't happy with what happened in that triple threat, so they're facing off at the pay-per-view because Jeff Hardy and them put on one hell of a match. So let's set up our main event of the evening, which will, in fact, see that title match. It is for the Intercontinental Championship, and it will be Randy Orton versus CM Punk. After what happened last week, CM Punk got rolled up. He demanded a match, and he's going to face Randy Orton for that championship. We have our match number 4, which is going to be our opening contest. Is our opening contest that we need to set up first. We'll see a 1-on-2 match this week, as we're going to have 1-on-2, which will be Triple H taking on Jeff Hardy after he rolled him up. But this time, Triple H is bringing a buddy. He's relying on somebody that he used to take out. He took him out. He can't get a championship match, but the GM has put Triple H and Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy. So that'll be very interesting. Very awkward scenario here coming into the pay-per-view. Maybe trying to get that upper hand. Maybe Triple H is giving Vince McMahon a little something extra. And then we're going to have a one-on-one normal match. Actually, not one-on-one, excuse me. Triple threat Divas match to get in there. No. We wanted a 1-on-2 Divas match, not Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley. We wanted Michelle McCool versus Mickie James and Tori Wilson. That's what we wanted. Not a handicap match between Jeff Hardy and Bobby Lashley. Between Jeff Hardy, these guys can't wait to get their hands on each other. So it's going to be, let's just say they're going to fight in the lot. Triple H is pissed. Triple H is going to try to attack Jeff Hardy before their pay-per-view match. And then promo. So we need to hype up our pay-per-view. Our pay-per-view is coming up. We got to build up that hype. And then the promo between a rivalry attack. Let's have Umaga attack MVP. All right, there we go. So then let's have a big 6-man tag to keep these feuds going, to see what we can do. We have Chris Masters and Mark Henry going up against the team of JTG and Shad. We're going to put Umaga on that side and MVP on this side, the cocky up-and-comers. So we have a big 6-man tag scheduled. And then last but not least is we have 1 feud, 2 feuds set up, 3 feuds set up, and that should be 4 and 5. So that should actually take care of all the feuds that we have tonight. So we might want to crown a number 1 contender for something, as we want to put up. Wait, where is Bobby Lashley? Bobby Lashley is going to take on. Actually, we don't have an extra person. Somebody's got to run double duty tonight. Who the hell is going to be running double duty? Somebody has to face. Okay, so let's just pretend we have Bobby Lashley. He'll be taking on Jeff Hardy after Triple H already is going to attack him backstage. He's got 2 matches tonight that they're putting up against. That's the booking decision that we want. So that'll set everything up for this week as you take a look at all the matches we do have set up. One thing I do want to touch on really quick is the fact that 3.5 stars, man, that should have been a lot more. And we had 3.5. Oh, okay, they had 3.5. Never mind. So they both had 3.5. So there's a reason that we're going down in the ratings. WWE.com, polls, results. We've already looked at that one. Our financials, we signed a crap load of people. So if you look at how much money we have left, total income, we only made $464,000. But the good point about that, all our contracts are pretty much locked up. Let's go ahead and hit save now that we have this all set up. I don't want to lose anything. But now that we have that all set up, you'll take a look at our roster. Coming into this pay-per-view, we're going to need to crank up. We have 4 more days to crank up popularity. So Jeff Hardy and Triple H have a pretty high one. CM Punk, they both have a high one. So we're going to need to crank up at least, we can either do tag teams 1 by 1 or Umaga and MVP, which would crank up their match quite a bit. As you take a look at our contracts, everybody is signed for at least 7 more weeks. Bobby Lashley's contract is expiring at the pay-per-view. We may not have anything for him things may end for him. Health reports. We have some fatigue on some of these guys. Mark Henry and Jeff Hardy have taken quite a beating as people have asked us to turn off some things. I just want to show this because some people have said, Tubby, you have it on difficulty. I keep putting it on normal. Why does it keep changing it off normal difficulty? Subtitles on, email attention. We don't really have to worry about that. Oh, let's check our emails really quick. As we have everything on. We have injuries on. Some people have asked me to take injuries off. So far, I have it on there. But there it goes. So we have our week set up. We have our rivalries ready to go as Jeff Hardy versus Triple H, Umaga versus MVP. You'll have to let me know in the comment section below what kind of match types you think they should be facing off with. How should they face off at the pay-per-view? You have a GM kiss-up storyline. The rookie partners, will they be able to overcome? But we've got a title match set up for tonight, so let's go ahead and finalize the card that we do have. Hit confirm. And we'll be back to play the matches in the next part, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Will Randy Orton be able to capture that title? Last week, they worked so well together as a tag team. This week, though, against each other in a tag team match, you have so much going on. Until next time, guys, it's your boy, Tubby Moo, guys. We'll see you in the next part.